Page 7. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest, to aid all may I become Buddha. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest, to aid all may I become Buddha. In the Buddha's Dharma and Sangha, until enlightened I seek refuge, through merit from giving and the rest, to aid all may I become Buddha. May all sentient beings have happiness and its causes. May all sentient beings be free from suffering and its causes. May all sentient beings never be parted from sorrowless bliss. May all sentient beings abide in equanimity, free from bias, attachment, and hatred. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent, destroyer, the foe, destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent, destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shaka clan, I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent, destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe, destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent, destroyer, the glorious conqueror, the subduer of the Shaka clan, I make offerings that go for refuge. To the founder, the endowed, transcendent, destroyer, the one gone beyond, the foe, destroyer, the completely perfected, fully awakened being, perfect in knowledge and in good conduct, Sugata, knower of the world, supreme guide of human beings to be tamed, teacher of gods and human beings, to you, the completely and fully awakened one, the endowed, transcendent, destroyer, the glorious, the subduer of the Shaka clan. I prostrate, make offerings, and go for refuge. When, O supreme among humans, you were born on this earth, you paced out 7 strides and said, I am supreme in this world. To you who were wise then I prostrate. With pure bodies formed supremely pure, wisdom ocean like a golden mountain, fame that blazes in the 3 worlds, winner of the best, Lord, to you I prostrate. With a supreme science face like spotless moon, color like gold, to you I prostrate. Dust free like you, the 3 worlds are not, incomparably wise one, to you I prostrate. The Savior having great compassion, the founder having all understanding, the field of merit with qualities like a vast ocean, to you, the one gone to thusness, I prostrate. The purity that frees one from attachment, the virtue that frees one from the lower realms, the one path, the sublime pure reality, to the Dharma that pacifies, I prostrate. Those who are liberated and who also show the path to liberation, the holy field qualified with realizations, who are devoted to the moral precepts, to you, the sublime community intending virtue, I prostrate. Homage to the Supreme Buddha, homage to the Dharma refuge, homage to the Great Sangha, to all 3 ever devout homage. To all worthy of respect, bowing with bodies many as all realms, atoms, and all aspects. With supreme faith I pay homage. Do not commit any non-virtuous actions. Perform only perfect virtuous actions. Subdue your mind thoroughly. This is the teaching of the Buddha. Sara Paraj, the flame of a lamp, an illusion, a drop of dew or a bubble, a dream, a flash of lightning and cloud. See conditioned things as such. Through these merits may sentient beings attain the rank of all seeing, subdue the foe of false, and be delivered from samsara's ocean, the waves of aging. From Tushita's hundreds of God's protectors' heart, to tip of this fresh, pure white heap, curd like cloud, Olo Sandrapa, Dharma's omniscient King, pray come to this place with your disciples, In space ahead, on lion throne, lotus and moon, venerable Guru, smile brightly with daylight. Pray say hundreds of eons to spread doctrine as supreme merit. Feel for my mind of faith, your wisdom mind sees full range of knowables. Your eloquent speech adorns fortunate ears. Your beauteous body, famed glory outstanding. Homage to you, worthwhile to think of, hear and see. Pleasant offerings of water, various flowers, fragrant incense, light, perfume, and so on. Oceans of offerings set out and envisioned, offered up to you, supreme field of merit. Non-virtue committed with body, speech, and mind, which I have heaped up since beginning, blessed are, especially what has contradicted three vows. Each I confess from my heart with strong regret. In time of strife you strove to learn and practice, shunned mundane concerns, made life essence full. O protector from death's our hearts, we rejoice in your powerful great deeds. Venerable Gurus from love and wisdom, clouds densely massed in your Dharma kaya sky. Pray loose a rain of vast profound Dharma on fields of disciples just as needed. May whatever virtue that I here gather bring benefit to all beings and doctrine, and may it make venerable Samdrapas essential teaching specially shine forever. Migre sewe chen racing, dream kempe wang po jang yang, du pung malu jum se song wait up, gang chen ke pei su gian song papa, lo sangra pe shabla so whatever. O glorious and precious root Guru, pray take seat of lotus on my crown, caring for me with your great kindness. Bestow attainments of body, speech, and mind. O glorious and precious root Guru, pray take seat of lotus at my heart, caring for me with your great kindness. Bestow attainments common and supreme. O glorious and precious root Guru, pray take seat of lotus at my heart, caring for me with your great kindness, until supreme awakening remains steadfast. Homage to the exalted three jewels. Thus have I heard at one time, the Blessed One was dwelling in Rajagriha on Bodhi Mountain, together with a great assembly of monks and a great assembly of bodhisattvas. At that time, the Blessed One was absorbed in the concentration of the countless aspects of phenomenon called profound illumination. At that very time, the superior art, Vishara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, was looking perfectly at the practice of profound perfection of wisdom, perfectly looking at the emptiness of inherent existence of the five aggregates also. Then, through the power of the Buddha, the Venerable Shariputra said to the superior art, Vishara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, how should a child of lineage train who wishes to engage in the practice of profound perfection of wisdom? Thus he spoke, and the superior art, Vishara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, replied to the Venerable Shariputra as follows. Shariputra, whichever son or daughter of the lineage wished to engage in the practice of profound perfection of wisdom should look perfectly like this. Subsequently, looking perfectly and correctly at the emptiness of inherent existence of the five aggregates also. Form is empty, emptiness is form, emptiness is not other than form is not other than emptiness. In the same way, feeling, discrimination, compositional factors, and Shariputra, like this, all phenomena are empty. That is, they are not produced and do not cease. They have no defilement and no separation from defilement. They have no decrease and no increase. Therefore, Shariputra, in emptiness there is no form, no feeling, no discrimination, compositional factors. There is no eye, no ear, no nose, no tongue, no body, no mind, no visible form, no sound, no smell, no taste, no object of touch, no mental phenomenon. No eye element and so forth up to no mind element of mental consciousness. There is no ignorance and no cessation of ignorance and so forth up to no aging and death and no cessation of aging and death. Likewise, there is no suffering, no origin, cessation, and no path. No exalted wisdom, no attainment, and also no non-attainment. Therefore, Shariputra, because there is no attainment, bodhisattvas rely on and abide in the perfection of wisdom. And because their minds have no obstructions, they have no fear. Passing utterly beyond error, they attain the final state beyond sorrow. All the Buddhists who reside in the three times, by relying upon the perfection of wisdom, become manifest and complete Buddhists in the state of unsurpassed, perfect, and complete enlightenment. Therefore, the mantra of the perfection of wisdom, the mantra of great knowledge, the unsurpassed mantra, the equal to the unequal mantra, the mantra that thoroughly pacifies all suffering, since it is all should be known as the truth. The wisdom is proclaimed. Tayata gate gate paragate parasamgate buddhi soha. Shariputra, this is how a bodhisattva, a great being, should train in profound perfection of wisdom. Then the Blessed One arose from that concentration and said to the superior Vishara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, well said, O child, the lineage, so it is. The profound perfection of wisdom should be practiced exactly as you have taught, and the Tathagatas will rejoice. When the Blessed One had said this, the Venerable Shariputra, the superior Vishara, the Bodhisattva, the great being, and the entire assembly, as well as worldly beings, gods, humans, demigods, Gandharvas, and others, were filled with admiration and highly praised what had been spoken by the Blessed One. In the holy supreme abode of the Dakinis, possessed of clairvoyance and miraculous power, unwaveringly caring for practitioners as your children, homage to the hosts of the three places Dakinis. Tayata om gate gate parasabgate bodhi soha. Through the power of the three jewel speech, may all on the side of negativity, such as the four Mars, be stopped. May they become non-existent. May they be pacified. All enemies, obstructors, and hindrances, shanti kurie soha. The 80,000 types of obstructors pacified, free from adverse, harmful conditions. Bring happiness and well-being here right now. Sashi Poki Yukshi Meto Tramri Irablingi Nide Again Party Sangye Taki chunyan ki pesan ki, drola penche sanke drupa sho. Chola choki chanala, chanchu padu gangi katsuchi, taki chunyan ki pesan ki, drola penche sanke drupa sho. Chola choki chanala, chanchu padu gangi katsuchi, taki chunyan ki pesan ki, drola penche sanke drupa sho.
Good evening, everyone. John, you want chair? Okay. If you want chair, you can sit chair. Whatever's comfortable for you, okay? And you see the chair. If you want small cushion under your feet, so good. Sometimes too much comfortable before sleep. Anyway, it's wonderful to we all come together to thinking and study, identify, or give them different names, our thoughts or things. Things, thoughts, depends, right? Basically, the study is the best light to our ignorance. Is correct? It's not correct. To purify, to dispel our ignorance, darkness for our, right? Like light, is it dispel? Dispel for darkness in the house. Like same, any kind of knowledge is very important for all beings, not just only human beings. Rengnes na kalong, ano rengnes ay siya? Rengnes jang siya. Injil kalong. Lo jang siya knowledge. But yeah, I don't know. Some Tibetan words doesn't work English. Like study, even of course human beings very super duper smart than all beings. But if we teach for anything for the even animals, dogs, cats, they can learn, right? Therefore, also the knowledge, if people have knowledge, if they use the wrong direction, also very powerful. Therefore, study knowledge, use the right direction is very grateful. Sometimes, the religions, not only one, all the religions, the religions also very great for people keep the peace of mind, is correct? Or people take refuge. But sometimes very good, sometimes they use the wrong direction. If we think about, all of the different words, I don't know, 100%, maybe 50% they start for religions, any religion. Even the Tibetan religions, people with them, there are a lot of problems, there are a lot of fights, But this is not religion's problem, this is the who person use the religion, the wrong direction. Anyway, therefore, the person who used the right direction is good. The purpose study any kind of religion, a purpose follow any religions to keep our mind for peace, right? Because people go to church for what? They're looking for peace. People come to temple, they're looking for peace. How can I do peace? Some Buddhism believe you do peace. We teach you have to study that. Another, you go to church or temple, you go pray, the God give you peace. God bless you with peace like that. We also say Buddha blessing you. Buddha blessing means, you study or you heard any Buddha's teaching, they change your mind, it is a blessing, not something good. For example, I was, talk about when I study English, maybe here many times. I went to adults class, all the adults. They don't speak English, everyone, all different kind of people, different countries. We sit on the front, I say, round, circle, everyone, the front empty, the teachers there, and the cockroach, one cockroach walking there. The teacher, she bought some piece of paper, I thought she would put back there, she bring that. She put the top, then she stepped. Like during that time, she, or maybe don't believe it's bad. Maybe she didn't think it, we don't know. But people have no knowledge. Like what's that? Now we, Buddhism say, okay, it's possible, don't kill any animal, any beings. Now you learn that, you heard that one day you're going to also do like the same. And immediately you say, oh, the Buddha said it's not good. Then immediately your mind remember, it is blessing, like that. Otherwise, blessing is not just some water dropped to you. Like that, also you learn. During that time, I don't know other people, some people will express. I just immediately, just automatically, I said, why? That very, how is that? Big sound. Just people say, what's going on? I'm, for me, not used to, very, like, staged to the, just people, everyone watches it. The people think, oh, I'm something wrong for me, but I have different feeling, right? And these people have different feeling. Yeah, I think there's something wrong. They think I'm something wrong. We don't know who was right, who was wrong. Like, different feeling. Therefore, like small things, people don't recognize. The Buddhism says, all beings, same is us to wish to free from all the problems. They wish to happy. Like squirrels running here, sometimes I chest, John, you can see. Sometimes I fight with them. But sometimes they don't scare me. Sometimes I'm not teasing them though. Sometimes I give food, sometimes sometimes I give food, sometimes I hit them. If they hit, I'm chase them. They confuse. He going to beat me or he going to give food. Then he doesn't scare us. Like, example, they're running here while walking everywhere you can see. Because they're looking for some peace or some happy or some thing. Like that, Now, like that kind of some Buddhism way, but Buddha said, whatever he taught, whatever he said, I think that, or I understand like that, but you can check always, day or night. Then you have a lot of problems. Buddha said, well, the problems start from your side. He said, what? You say, no, he did, she did, right? We don't accept, we don't think, we don't accept. And Buddha said, no, all the problems start you. No one accepts. But you really think, if someone makes you angry, you don't get angry, then what say, you don't know what say, you not get angry, then there are no problem. You be patient. Like also another thing maybe. Always say, intentionally, no one makes people angry. Right? They don't make angry at us, we don't make angry at them, intentionally. But unknowing, whatever we say, whatever we do, people get angry, we get angry. Because this is all we have not knowledge. What's good or what's bad, we don't know. We think that we get angry, we protect us. It's not really. Like anyway, there are so many things that anyway, it's religion or not religion, doesn't matter. It's very good to study reality. The Buddhism have, so many different ways. Like Dalai Lama, he compound, divide, like Buddhism, 3 different ways. One's science, one's view, one's Buddhism practice. The Buddhism science study everyone. Whoever looking for the knowledge, they can study. It's good also they're learning about their mind. And you study, you understand, you practice, it's really proof. Result. You really see the result. How's it? Improvement. Then we say, okay, if that's like Tibetans or Buddhism, what's going on? There's some problems, Tibetans also. But they don't also really put into practice. People know them, they don't put into practice. This is the problem. Right? Like the Buddhism always says, anger is not good. Everyone says, oh yeah, we say anger is not good. Everyone accepts. But we get angry. We never angry, we peace, right? It's nothing, because we are not angry, everything fine, we are at peace. Why? We are not angry. But everyone knows anger is bad, but everyone doesn't pay attention. When he's coming, okay, I'm here. Why you want to say that? Why you do that? You guys are right? Tibetans just do this. In India, they hit the shoes. So, even whatever what you learn, try to put into practice. Very important. We cannot do one day, we cannot change one day. Just slowly, how much we can. Okay? Everyone's looking for peace. Peace never come from outside. We have to start peace from our own side. The you means not a talk about you. We're the peaceful person, and whoever lives up front around us is peace. Like example, maybe dog or cat is very peaceful, dog or cat. Another animals also run with them. If dog or cat was not really friendly, then other animals also scared. Even they run away. So this is nature. The human nature is peace. So when we grow up, we have so many thoughts. We develop angry, jealous, hatred, attachment. Therefore, anyway, always check our thoughts, our actions, what are we doing, what are we thinking. Usually we never check it, whatever I say, what I'm thinking, we say always, we judgment for others. Judgment? We judge. Judge or judgment? Sometimes we judge our own side. This is a big key or big nap, big punishment. But we don't accept what we're doing fall. But if we don't fall, then why have the problems? Everyone doesn't think. No one thinks I'm doing wrong. Everyone thinks I'm doing right. If everyone's right, then what's the problems come? Because they show us everyone not right. Everyone not doing the right way. But no one accept. No one check. Therefore, this is very important. Okay? Okay, now everyone to close your eyes, do a little bit meditation, okay? How much do you comfortable? People are special Western like to learn meditation. Otherwise, we go to December, they don't meditation, they just talk. 2 hours to West, Okay? When you start to meditation, visualization in front of you, if you like Buddha, or you like other God, you can visualization. Whatever you have faith, you can visualize that. You don't need to exactly Buddha. What kind God, Buddha, any one you like. From that, first you try to identify yourself or your mind. Then you're thinking from your head, then go through whole your body, slowly. Go into your knee, your mind. Then you're coming back. Up. Like your mind, thinking your body. Go up, down, up, down. Then you go down and bring up, keep your mind under your heart. Like you think that. Then you start thinking. For you wish to all beings to happy. Then you wish to all sentient beings to free from suffering. Then you request Buddha or whatever you visualization. Please give blessing for all of us to free from the suffering. Then the light, 5 different colored lights like that, come from Buddha's heart, come through your body, like wash your all the sufferings. Like your head, through whole your body, inside, outside. Buddha's blessing water wash all your sufferings. then you feel happy. You share that feeling of happy to all beings. Then you think all sentient beings to feel happy, include yourself. You feel very comfortable, happy, because all the problems go away. So you very relaxed. Your body, speech, mind, all relaxed. Don't keep any problems. Just go away. Whatever you have peaceful feeling, happy feeling, share for all of others. Okay? Okay, like that. Now we don't want to stay too long that. Otherwise we didn't go that text. Okay, now we're going to text, okay? It's complicated text. This is a very complicated. Also, one hand is you have not used to. Second hand is this is also language is difficult, like more complicated. You know, this is we don't talk about for outside things. This we talk about for our inside. Feelings
So we're going to be talking about this subject, which is about the mind and awareness, right? So it is something that's related with us, not totally different from us. So it's all different kind of thoughts that we have in our mind, which we have given a different name to them. So we're talking about object and object possessor, right? So anything that exists and has to be either object or object possessor. So there isn't anything that is not included within these two. And then talking about the object possessor, there are three different types, right? There's a person, awareness, and expressive sound. So as you know, the definition of the object possessor, right? A thing that possesses its respective object. And so the thing that possesses its respective object, there are three different kinds, like a person has its own respective object, and sound, and not every kind of sound, but expressive sound, and then awareness, of course.
And the talk in the pen of Michigan, the cup the current on your race, and then Michi, they Michi each of your race.
So for example, the eye consciousness sees the cup becomes object, and the eye consciousness, which has its object, right? It has objects, so it possesses objects, so it becomes the object possessor.
And the Shiba is
and the object, and the eye consciousness, is also a type of consciousness. And so because he can see, or she can see through his eye consciousness, therefore we say he sees it. right? Actually, it's his eye consciousness, or his her eye consciousness. But a person sees it, therefore we say person sees it. So therefore, it becomes object of the person also. So with that, therefore, we call person is also an object possessor. And so that when you express the sound, right, you express the sound car, yeah, then the car becomes the object of the expressing sound car. Yeah? Okay. And therefore expressive sound like that is also called object possessor.
The people, why have to talk about that, right? But that's not so young. And the Shiba said, what Shiba said, the matter of do you, do you say?
So we're talking about it because we are studying about it, right? So, so anyway, we have gone through already the person, and now the second one, which is awareness, right? Awareness, and talking about awareness, there are 7 different types of awareness. So we were talking about the value cognition. So in the value cognition, there are 2, that's called the direct value cognition and inferential value cognition. So we say a direct value cognition is a mind that sees its object directly. Like when you see the cup, your eye consciousness is seeing it directly, so it becomes a direct valid cognition. So anything that we see or that we hear or that we taste, directly, yeah? So that becomes the direct valid cognition, and the inferential valid cognition is a thing that we see or cognize through reasoning. Oh, this is this because this is this, and we go through the reasoning. And when you come to understand something through reasoning, that's called inferential cognition. And so, for example, like when we hear the police car or the sirens of the police car, and then we understand that, oh, there must be some problem. Somebody is in some kind of problem. Therefore, we say, so through that sound, you can understand that there is a problem there. That's the inferential cognition.
And
then there's another awareness is called subsequent cognizer. So the subsequent cognizer is something that you cognize which already has been cognized before. So it's like a second time you're cognizing it. So these 3 kind of awarenesses we have in everything that we study about, and we need those 3 minds. And so these are called the cognizing mind, the mind that cognizes.
And Tawaji, the two local Dogana. Oh, could Tawa there is. Tango Genzi Yawago, the code Pewa, the Gana Kundi, Tulama Kundulana, called Money. Pewa in the Minotago, that Genzi, Kaji Genzi Tezio is what Genzi Yabo into mine, Genzi Tuzio, Tulomao. Travel to look in the coupe or something on some sort of was. That the little chase.
And then in the marriage,
Get the year never more.
Gavich, the Mangaviches,
Just the Telama.
among us all.
The Jesse Mangi one. Just the Yaja Telamo.
Tell them
Then I'm up to him.
tell them
간제 다 쳐다봐. 간제 유든에서 땡데 하면 오와. 들리죠?
And then the next one is called correctly assuming consciousness. And so you think of something as something. You think of something as something because of some reason. So, and you see a person wearing a maroon robe, like the Tibetan monks wear. And so you see a person wearing maroon robe, and you think that person is Tibetan because he's wearing or she's wearing maroon robe. So is that a good reason? So so because of some kind of reason like that, and you assume that that person is a Tibetan.
Also, sometimes the people call me, "Are you female?" Because I'm wearing the, how you say, long, how is it called?
Skirt.
Skirt. They think, "Oh, you female." Usually men doesn't wear, right? They could just say the KO model.
So like that, it's not exact reason, right? It's not reason that just because somebody is wearing like a skirt doesn't mean it has to be a woman, or somebody who is wearing a maroon robe has to be a Tibetan.
다 되지. 아니 뒤치려야 동본이 벗은 것이고 나와들아 나라만게 봤어. 나도 또 고대와치 나대와치 이나 따다리 하면 그게 그랬어.
And so then the fifth one is called awareness. Sometimes we use the word inattentive, or other exact word would be awareness to which the object appears without being ascertained. So you see the object, but you're not 100% sure about the object.
Example, you guys watch football, baseball, football, Red Sox? No? Yankee? You guys know Boston. What, Boston Yankee or what? Red Sox? Red Sox. Or the election? Anyway. Something anyway, if you're interested, a movie, you watch that, you will see it there, right? But maybe your wife or your husband or someone says, "Hey, do something." You hear that, you don't much pay attention. What is it? You have to say again. Like that, you heard, but you don't really touch. That is not
And so like that kind of attention that lack of attention you have towards the person who speaks to you when you are so focused on watching like football or movie, right? And so that kind of mind is called awareness to which an object appears without being ascertained.
You guys watch that Donald Trump every night?
And then the next one after that is the doubting consciousness. Doubting, is like doubt, right? You say, "Oh, maybe it's this, maybe it's that," like that, that kind of mind.
And the Dumba Lokshes, that Lokshes, that the Lokshin children, that they learn their charge, share down, not to look do a challenge on the
And then the seventh one is called the wrong consciousness. So the wrong consciousness has all those kind of deluded minds like anger, attachment, ignorance. Everything's included in that. So all kinds of minds are, included within these 7 awarenesses. Of course, you can again, if you want to divide, you can divide into many, many different types.
Okay? That is Shetani, Nandoja Lo Mambo, Shetani, Nandoja Lo Mambo Shirayas, Nandoja Laya. That Peve, Nabe Shadajana, Nandoja, Zanitra, Zanita Chiton, Zanita Chiton, La Tembe, Shibani Chiton, Tinita Torachi.
So, it says you can expand, to like 21,000 kinds of awarenesses or consciousness, 21,000 different types. It says because we have 21,000 different types of nerves and channels of nerves, so nerve system. So because of that, then there's like also 21,000 different type of consciousness related with each nerve. And then also you can say there is a consciousness in equal number of the objects there are, or things there are. Yeah?
Okay? What is it?
So anyway, so when you combine all these different type of consciousnesses, they can be all combined into these 7.
Okay?
So yeah, of course there will be a detailed explanation of each of them as we go through the study on the mind and awareness. So last time we talked about the definition of the valid cognition, right? Valid cognizer, that which is so that which is what's it? New, incontrovertible knower, right? So in the awareness, there are 7 kinds, right, which I just mentioned now. And then the first one, which is the valid cognizer. The valid cognizer has 2 kinds, direct valid cognizer and inferential valid cognizer. And the definition of the valid cognizer is a new, incontrovertible knower. Sorry, then is the direct perceiver. After that is talking about the direct perceiver. A knower that is free from conceptuality and non-mistaken is the definition of direct perceiver. So in the part of the definition here, it says conceptuality, right, or conceptual. So conceptual is a kind of a mind that imagines, things that you don't see directly, right? So like, for example, the things that you have in your house, you can imagine all of them. You can have all the picture of all those image, of all those things in your house right now, here in this moment and in this place, you can see all those things. So that's called conceptual. Whereas the direct perceiver, has to have a direct contact, with the object. So when we close our eye, but we can still have the picture of things, that's not eye consciousness. It's not a sense consciousness. It's a mental consciousness, seeing it. And so there's the direct perceiver, and there are also many different kinds, like the sense direct perceiver, the mental direct perceiver, and so forth. So there are 4, like it says here, right? When awareness that are direct perceivers are divided, there are 4. It's a sense direct perceiver, mental direct perceiver, self-knowing direct perceiver, and yogic direct perceiver. And then talking about the first one, which is the sense direct perceiver, right? With respect to the first of these, sense direct perceiver, there are 2 parts, definition and division. The definition of that is the first definition of the sense direct perceiver is that which is produced in dependence on its own uncommon empowering condition, a physical sense power, and is a knower that is free from conceptuality and non-mistaken. So that this two part of that definition. And then it says when it's divided, and the second, when sense-direct perceiver are divided, there are three: the valid cognizer that are sense-direct perceiver, subsequent cognizer that are sense-direct perceiver, and awareness to which an object appears but is not ascertained that are sense-direct perceiver. So this kind of division is also follow in the same way to other direct perceivers like the mental direct perceiver and so forth.
아니 오늘 저 테마 제시 나라마게 받아 숨이 요새. 그래서 숨도 왔다. 아니 동본의 순종 뭐 계시 니바 동보다 니바나 순종 계시 니바다 와 선바나 예다님을 찾으면 제오지 순서 왕이 다 와서로.
And so the first one is the valid cognizer that are sense direct perceiver, and second one is the subsequent cognizer that are sense direct perceiver. The third one is the awareness to which an object appears but is not ascertained, that are sense direct perceiver. So, and then following us the example of those, each of those. The first one is called the first moment of a sense direct perceiver apprehending a form. So the first one, first moment, that's the valid cognizer. Right? And then the second is, for example, the second moment of a sense direct perceiver apprehending a form. So that will become a subsequent cognizer. And then this is the third one is, for example, a sense direct perceiver apprehending a form in the continuum of a person whose mind is especially attracted to a pleasant sound. And then when you expand the sense direct perceiver, there are like all these five senses, right? The sense direct perceiver apprehending form, sense direct perceiver apprehending sound, sense direct perceiver apprehending odors, sense direct perceiver and apprehending the taste, and the sense direct perceiver tangible objects. And the definition of a sense direct perceiver apprehending a form is that which is generated in dependence on its one uncommon empowering condition, the eye sense power, and it is observed object condition of form, and is a knower that is free from conceptuality and non-mistaken.
Sorry, can you just clarify
what is meant by independence on its own uncommon empowering condition, please?
아니 다 줄라스 미체 다체 타마타체스 남도 줄 숨샤고 kel라 미체 다체 타마타체스 남도 숨샤고 그래서
So for everything that exists, or that is generated or produced, there is cause and condition. So we know the cause that creates it, and then the condition is that helps for that to come into fruition, right? So the condition, there are three different types. Condition is called the fundamental condition, and so the objective condition, and immediate condition. So there are three different kind of conditions.
What's meant by uncommon?
근데 다 너무 많이 봐서나 오케이 나도 너무 많이 봤어요 너 그대로 너무 신경 와
그래.
다 빼로 가셔도 고대 원하시 그러셔도
그래 수글라다 미시에 뭐라 미기
다 당도 술잖아 당도 미시도 와서 미시를 제와라 stensom 좀 그래서 미시를 제와라 아니 미치 다체 토마타체스 때 그런 너무 많이 봐서 그런 너무 많이 봐 미시들 다 배세는데 세보스 미시를 제와라 아니 토모 마이베 다치 숨라더니 내 세부 하고 무시 제기 그래서 대우 섬라다 가로 가도 세고대 아니 토모 마이베 미치 잡을 그래서 무시 제가 무시 미치
So for example, when you see this yellow cup with your eye consciousness, and it has to have these three empowering conditions, uncommon empowering condition, for you to be able to see the yellow cup. So if the yellow cup is not there, there will be no eye consciousness apprehending a yellow cup, right? So the yellow cup, becomes the objective condition.
그래봐. 아니 다 배나 미시저다 미시 다 미시르다 배나 당가도 도우즈라 셔다.
미원데 미시겠다. 다 괜찮아.
다시 저거 왔어. 다데 수대지. 아니 다데 미게대지. 다데 미시대지. 나밖에 내려오셔 왔어. 다 zuchi, ngawang, mishi, tandi tamata jede ko tashi libara shako isro. Isro. Tandi mishi da mishi tambo de das. Tandi mishi tandi zama kewala. Ani de ko gres. Ngawang. Isro. Wangboti. Karesana 옹보라 미고 옹보라 죽대 샤르 대 샤바라 때는 미시적으로 그러고 알아 나게 돼세
그러다 명언데 통마면 잘
통마면 단 들으다 미시게 저 명언데 미시고랑 통마면 저래 제바 나시도 저지 강하게 제가 말했어.
And then so that's the objective condition, and then there's the fundamental condition, and it will be the eye organ. So in order for the eye consciousness to see it, you have to have the eye organ. So the eye organ will be the the fundamental the eye sense power, right? The power or the organ, is the fundamental condition, and and then the immediate condition. 대마다긴데 가능사.
대마다진데다 아니 미시드다 15 계획 18시 그랬어. 미시 18시 계획 18시.
And so that is the condition that
15
So there's a kind of the consciousness or awareness that cognizes the object, right? So which produce that mind and that condition. I mean that consciousness is the immediate condition. So immediately you come to understand that, right? So because of that, and that immediate condition is the consciousness that knows it, that cognizes it. So you have to have these three. So anyway, when we talk about the uncommon here, so the eye sense power is the uncommon condition for the eye consciousness. So it can be only the condition for the eye consciousness. It cannot become a condition for the ear consciousness or nose consciousness. So in our not in common with the others. Yes. So it's uncommon. Yeah.
Okay. Now example. Like our eyes, because the big brown one, they don't want that one. They know la ya, and one boss is yours. They know la. Because one boss is not to yours. And the Taradella not want a copper. They know la moment yours. No la zoo to shag yours.
So what do you say is the eye organ? So we say the what do you call that? The black, the pupil. The pupil, right? The brown or the black. What do you call that? Yeah. So inside there. Eye socket, right? So eye socket and then the eyeball. So in the middle there's the brown, or some people have blue, right? Some people have brown, some people have black. And then in the middle of there, that's like the shiny, like a glass type, to which the object appears. So the object appears to that, and then you see it. So, so object appears, so blind people don't have that, that's why they cannot see it, right? So people who have eyes, the object appears, then they see it. So there's the other kind of consciousness, which kind of supports or helps in this eye consciousness, to be generated. And so that consciousness becomes the immediate condition. So that, that kind of is the condition that produces the cognition of the object. So that's called the immediate condition. So there's this object, which appears to the eye consciousness, right? I mean, to the eye sense power. And then there's this eyes, the conception, perception, just before the understanding of an object. So that's called that's the immediate condition. And because of that, then the object appears. Then, there's the cognition of that object, or the eye consciousness cognizing the object. And so because in dependence on these conditions, then you'll be able to generate the eye consciousness that sees the object. So it's related with the connected with the nervous system in the brain. So, and of course, the scientists will say it is the brain, right? So in the brain, and it goes to the brain. It's the brain which sees it. But Buddhism, says it's a consciousness. Of course, can't point it because it's a formless, right? It doesn't have a form. You can point and say this is eye consciousness, but you can describe it. This is called eye consciousness. And so for that eye consciousness to be generated, it has to have that nervous system, which runs from the brain, to the eye, sense organ. Without that, you will not be able to generate the eye consciousness. And so some people who doesn't see or blind, who are blind, when we look at them, they might have like a proper eyes, but they cannot see because then that's because they have something, some problem, with the nervous system, that connects the eye organ to the brain. So, for example, like, so when you see me, when you see Geshe, right? So you see Geshe, and then it's your eye consciousness that's apprehending Geshe. So the object that is apprehended by the eye consciousness is called the form. It's called a form source. So it's a matter. In other words, it's a matter. And so then, say it's Geshe or matter because it's an object apprehended by eye consciousness. And so if it's a matter, then it's not a matter. He's not a matter. He's a person. So you can debate like that. But you can apprehend Geshe with your eye consciousness, right? Can you? Right. So Geshe is a matter then, right? Because it can be it's a matter. Matter. No, but of course, Geshe is not a matter, right? It's a person. Matter of a matter. Geshe? Person, right? The me pembo is.
Me pembo, are you sure?
You know, the pembo is over.
I don't know.
The setting love. Setting love.
And the pembo is over. Pembo is over, the pembo go.
So matter of a matter, but it's not a matter, is it? Like that? Or person.
It's complicated. I think we don't want to go there. I think. Too complicated. Anyway, then the third thing of
So you see Geshe, right? And then you think that's a Geshe, right? Is that eye consciousness? Yeah, it's mental consciousness, right? It's already so.
Just immediately, not too long. Just immediately, you see that.
So immediately after that, it becomes the mental consciousness. So the sense consciousness is for a very, very short time. Then after that, it becomes conceptual. Before it is non-conceptual, then after that, it becomes conceptual.
Okay, the time, Mishi Jagger, Korang, Miwadeji, Tela Shag, Sudeji, Korang, Jatamo, and any Sarik de Sunday, the Mishi Tomo might be jury, but switching Jamares.
And so these three, things, the object, the eye of the eye consciousness, and the eye sense power, and the perception immediately before the eye consciousness. So these three are the uncommon power, uncommon important condition, of the eye consciousness. It's not a condition of any other thing.
Also, I want to maybe some funny example. Common and uncommon, okay? I don't know what again. Chochile, Jimmy, Chote, Jimmy, Tomoving, Chocha.
So if there's one guy who has two wives, right? A guy with the two wives, he become a common husband, right? Common husband of the two wives, right?
Yes. Yeah. Two wives have one husband in common.
Yeah.
Isn't not here, that Chochile, Jimmy, and Chode, Kona, Tomo, wine big, Choda, Jimmy, the Kona, Tomo, wine big, but the Chimaris, they Chenani. That Kachan was.
So, but if there's only one husband and one wife, then that's uncommon, right? Husband, uncommon wife, right? So if you try to bring another one, then you will have divorce, right?
This problem. It's better example, okay? Yeah. Then you been Hido Apple ki. And
then apple seed, can only produce apple, right? It cannot produce orange. It cannot produce other things, right? So therefore, that seed only becomes an uncommon cause of the apple. So, but the manure, the moisture, the water, all those, that can be a common condition, for all kinds of fruits, right? They use same for the apples, same for the chili, or same for the oranges.
Okay, I'm your question?
Yes, if you can explain in the division of the sense direct perceiver, the second one, the subsequent recognizer that is sense direct perceiver, why it's not contradict the new one? In the definition of the direct perceiver. The subsequent sense direct perceiver.
It's not a valid cognizer.
Is what contradicts with the new?
We are speaking about the division of a valid cognizer, isn't it?
No.
No, okay. It's my mistake.
Yeah.
Sorry.
거기서 나다가 나는 먼저 무슨 교실에 무슨 내가 거기다 제말 그 선부.
I am not
제시해요. of this, the Kurukulla.
Okay? 다 저도 미시처럼 하는데 찡나도 레서는 아니 저는 레라고 쉬어요 그래서 찡도 하거나.
So you should understand this, right? So about the eye consciousness, and then you apply the same way, for the other sense consciousnesses like the ear, nose, and so forth.
Okay? 근데 미시티에 도움을 제가를 주더라고. 근데 주지 미시나. 근데 단 그러와. 더 숙소 그러. 근데 정말 주대. 나시가 도움을 이제 그래서 저 주대. 미시가 나서 말에 미시가 소 말에 레시가 좀 하고 말어 봤어.
So just like the form, is the the object, uncommon object of the eye consciousness, and then like the order, is the uncommon object of the fundamental, the objective condition of the nose consciousness, right? So the order can be only experienced by the nose consciousness, cannot be experienced by the ear consciousness or eye consciousness.
근데 이제 도저 가장 자동 집어 지절에서 간갈라 미제 다제 토마다제 진 숨숨고 그래서.
So these three conditions that I just mentioned, fundamental condition, objective condition, and immediate condition, these three conditions are required for all of those sense consciousnesses.
도저 차선 예스 잡을 또 받치고 말이야. 예스.
So these are all of these sense consciousnesses are non-conceptual. So these are all direct consciousness, so therefore it's a non-conceptual.
Yes.
What is the first condition? Sorry, I missed that.
Fundamental. Yeah. And then the objective, and then the immediate.
Okay. 배나 저러나 정말 야도 두생가서 나를 너무 마주 생각하고 말해서.
So the odor, the smell, or whether it's good or not, you can only be cognized by your nose, cannot see by your eye.
아니 가라로나 지 조각하려면 인지미 제일 두고 말이야. 미식은 돈 암종이에요 말이야.
The taste has to come only from the tongue consciousness, right? So if whether the food is tasty or not, it can be only cognized by your tongue consciousness. The eye cannot see the taste of the food, and the ear cannot hear the taste of the food, right?
근데 자로나 암종 그러냐면 저 미식이 딴에 어떻게 다해 보서는 돈 말이야.
And then sound, whether it's a pleasant or unpleasant sound, you have to have the ear consciousness to see that, or to cognize that, right? You can't see with your eye consciousness the sound, the pleasant or unpleasant sounds.
아니 잠보이도면서 다 리코로 두고 말이야. 레자 마토에나 레자된 잠보이도 많이 하고 말이야.
So the tangible objects, whether this kind of objects that you touch is rough or smooth, or gross and so forth, can be only known by the body consciousness. Right? So you can't see the roughness and the smoothness of the thing with your eye consciousness.
Okay? 다 되네요. 단단마 지라나 마모슈를 되고 되네. 집어집어집어로 되는 거. 근데 랑가 통모다 전에 집이 명화다. 랑가 다전에 집이 줄라되는 저 그 도바도 좀 맞추게 봐. 그래서 오긴 있으니 대전다 랑가 통모다 전에 집이 나이 오면 차선 다 뒤집어자고 그래서 와. 내 차선 자체 정말 되네. 신경도 세마세대 가래래. 제시다 그래 가요. 나가서 시당 주주 옹이에서 되다 되게 와.
그래, 단 제마다 내 참아도 싫어. 제시들 다 걸어들었죠.
단도 인게 자신은 거.
아니
이게 대주다 대라 인게라 아니 제마지다 제시는 한번 없으면 그래서.
And then it's like it says at the definition of the sense direct perceiver, apprehending a form, it is that which is generated independent on its own uncommon empowering condition, the eye sense power, and is observed an object condition, a form, and is a knower that is free from conceptuality and non-mistake. So you can apply that same, to the sound, to the ear consciousness, right? So how will you apply that? Oh, page 14? 13 or 14? That's page 14, right? So page 14, in the second paragraph, so there's like 5 cents, right?
More confused?
당근 달라 직자시나 되는 건데 how to 더 속을 직자도 쇼로 셔서라 달라 직자시나 되는 건데 좀 심마 진다도 저리 되셔라
그리고 다 다세대 아랑가 통모 마임비 나진의 집에 다다 아랑가 미지
도마입니다 미와들라
아랑가
나와서라
아랑가 통모 나진의 집에 아니
나와
나이 왕보다 아랑가 미지의 집에 달라들 집에 또 말을 맞으면 봐스.
So this here, when we talk about that, I don't know if you were asking also about the term empowering condition. So that's the same as what I was talking about, the fundamental condition. So empowering condition and fundamental condition is the same. It's just the different terms we use. But empowering condition here is the same as the fundamental condition that I was mentioning about. So here, the empowering condition of this, the I consciousness, is the I sense power, all right? So just like that. And for the ear consciousness, it's going to be ear sense power, right? Wherever that is inside the ear, right? So that, and then and it is observed objective condition. What? Here is just a form. So for the ear will be a sound, right? And is a knower that is free from conceptuality and not mistaken. So if you are asked the definition of this sense direct perceiver apprehending sound. Sense direct perceiver apprehending sound, then you have to apply that to this apprehending the order and so forth. So whatever the definition you are asked, then you can apply the same way.
Right? 자도 거를 다데 다데요. 아니 필요 다데 거 다데 다 세건데 나이 온볼라. 니 자. 텔레테니 아니 테마타체 아니 시바시가야 아니
And so there's this uncommon empowering condition of the ear consciousness will be the ear sense power, and is observed objective condition. The form, the sound will be sound that is here will be the objective condition, and the immediate condition that makes it to hear, right? The hearing consciousness to arise immediately, and so that those three conditions has to be together. For that, the direct perceiver apprehending sound to come into existence.
Okay,
So are you confused? Are you following it? So what's the definition of direct perceiver? A knower that is free of conceptuality and non-mistaken. So that's, you have to know the definition, right? Otherwise you will not come to understand what it is. How many divisions are there? 4. Sense, mental, self-cognition, and yogic. Yeah, so those 4. And then the sense direct perceiver also has definition and division. You have to memorize all those. And sense direct perceiver again is divided into how many? 5. Yeah. So there's of the eye, ear, nose, tongue, right? Body. Yeah. And then each of these have their one uncommon 3 conditions, right? So if one of those conditions is missing, then that consciousness, or the eye consciousness, or ear consciousness, will not arise. And then also we have to know that when we see the object and then we think, oh, that's a beautiful object, or that's an ugly object. So that mind who says this is beautiful or that is ugly, that's not our eye consciousness. It's a mental consciousness. So, but the first time when which sees it is the eye consciousness. After that, when it says, oh, it's beautiful, it already changes to mental consciousness.
다 당기된 통화할 때는 나를 파는 당연히 야본 통소 오실려나 아니 대 똑바로했어 똑바로했어.
When you see it in the store and then you go back to home and then you say, oh, that was beautiful, I should have it. Yeah? So that was beautiful. And you see that in your mind, right? And that is conceptual.
오케이. 그래서 원시 단다 온능에서 대차선 인지미지 코나 얘도 통하면 최고 그래서 봐.
And so for the sense consciousnesses, it has to, come in direct condition with this, direct connection and direct contact with this object.
단어 지나서야 마든 식다자야 내 키친에 내려요 내려 깜찍이야 내려 자대요 내려 타대요 삼도 와. 근데 내가 좀 미식이 된 통도 왔는데 근데 미식이 된 통을 받대 이시래서.
So you are here and you think about the things in your kitchen, in your house, right? And so there's this countertop and there's the salt is there, the tea bags there, and so you imagine those things there, right? So you think you're seeing it with your eye consciousness? What is it? It's mental consciousness, yeah.
얘는 안소 삼는가 미긴 통연으로 당이 약값도 될래요. 지금 미긴 통연은 통도 왔어.
But we think that we are seeing it with our eye consciousness, right?
야, 내 값 쏟아내리지요. 산지요. 차 실험문도 산이 찬 요원도 정도 지금 통도 왔. 대군에
So you think about the container that holds the salt. Oh, there's not much salt. I have to go buy salt, more salt tomorrow. So you feel like you are seeing it with your eye consciousness, right?
얘나 대리기 근데 대시고 또 봐 영화들 당게 담은 무식이 통사 되게 무식이 되게 시작해요.
So, but you are able to have that thought or image because you have seen it directly earlier with your eye consciousness, right?
Okay. 오케이. 다 된다게 무시 깨와라. 다 깨었으면 돼. 건조 속된 통면나. 시원하면. 야, please come. Hello. Where are you from? Oh, namaste. How are you? You okay? Yeah. Okay. You can say namaste. Namaste is Hindi. Anyway, okay. Tendriki zu koranchi umbu zu chimbaji temata chen sum zombala te ne ene mishi koche to yores wa. Tendri chigmena mishi che yo mares.
So by depending independence on its own common empowering condition, the objective condition and the immediate condition, and there comes the eye consciousness and apprehending the form. Without any of these three conditions, the eye consciousness apprehending form will not be generated.
답배셔는 다 전화도 하고 그러면 미시 도도도 팔렌 모두 지어져 이래서 미시 도도도 지어져 이래서 매매 소시단.
So can we, change the eyeballs? Can you have the operation, surgery, and then change the eyeballs? You can? You can.
Really? They can change? Yeah, I surgery, they serve the color here. I thought they can change, no? Eyeball. They don't change?
Me call the jail.
Sikonso Jemen.
Cinema jam.
Oh, I thought they can change. Like they can change hardware. They transfer. Really? Really? But there's a big one, like they transfer chair money.
Sombola jail. Shina jail.
Wow. Like, if like, yeah, like example. Yeah, example was, like someone died, he or she's eyes very good. Like me, my eyes doesn't work. They can transfer their eye here.
No, not the whole eye, just the cornea.
There was that Will Smith movie where it did happen.
Oh,
Did you see that?
movie.
Will Smith?
Oh, yeah.
You know, at the end, he died, he actually killed himself, and then he gave his eyes to
Yeah, after you die, right? After you die.
So, that doesn't make, I mean, I was always wondering, can that happen?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Well, maybe.
Apparently, we're saying no.
그래.
Yoma.
니 저저 초도.
Yoma. The mig the chayamar. Mishina the chayamar. The chida the dodo chadaga chudama. Jin corner the chayas.
Anyway,
Member Geshe. Member
we
Geshe.
have to talk with doctors. It is possible, if they can talk about the heart, the heart beating is connection the tsarwa. Vessels. Yeah, vessels. The one are just cut out this ball, then put another one. They put together.
Too many nerves.
Yeah.
It's a Thomas Shuja Mobora.
I don't know. Therefore, someone has a problem here, but there's no problem. Someone is Jewish man, and they couldn't talk about them. Montoya Gardner, call and they one body, we want to make things to talk about us.
So that organ, if there's a problem with the organ, even though if the nervous system that connects to the brain is all right, but they are not able to see because that organ itself is damaged.
그냥 아주 शे고 나다서도 인심이 शे고 마찬가지 샤에 두개 말아서 된다 그러다.
So like if you stand in front of the mirror, you can see yourself, but if there's something wrong with the mirror, you will not be able to see.
그렇죠? 아주 된 되려죠. 미셔 대샤는 어떻게 가래. 인제원도 내도 꼬고는 내 저거도 가서 제거로 왔어.
So we stand in front of the mirror, and then we appear in the mirror, and then the reflection of the mirror comes into our eye, and then through that we can see ourselves and says, "Oh, this is good, this is bad. I have to unplug or plug something out, and fix something on that, and so forth." So we think like that, right?
당고도 메토 조사진도는 메토 마보 이런 데로 왔어. 다 메토 차가보 나보 세보 메토 니죠. 근데 약보 누구서면 도야 마음 통과되나 메토 내 약보 누구서면 대상에 양 이시 작들었어.
So again, when we go to a shop and look for a flower, we see all these different flowers, and then the moment we start thinking, "Oh, this is the flower I want," "Oh, this is nice, I want to have this flower." So the moment we think like that, then it already changes into mental consciousness.
가보도 나보도 지금 세보를 했으면 각각 칭의도 시작하는 거죠.
So that which discriminates the object, saying, "Oh, this is blue, this is orange, this is black," like that, then it's already a mental consciousness that's doing it.
Okay, this is easy, right?
But eye consciousness only
Perceives
shape
it.
and color.
Yeah.
It sees it, but then when you say, "Oh, this is this shape," or "This is this color," it's already a mind.
근데 something도 내 말이 something 용도.
Yeah, so the mind, the moment you think, "Oh, this is blue," or "This is round," "This is square," then it's already a mental consciousness.
So it seems like as soon as you see the shape and the color of the cup, and then once you see the labeled as a cup, then that's a mental consciousness?
가로 내 겁을 삼나?
Right.
그래 겁을 삼아도 메로 가서 장도.
Yeah, so if you think this is a cup, then it's already mental consciousness.
So what about children don't have language or animals, so they don't have mental consciousness, they just stops at the sense consciousness then?
먼저 the cup some machine 부조라. 대소라는 데 이시가 많았다. 이시킹이 많았어.
맞아, 다 다니자고 담보고도 걔 신경 안 돼. 내 상관 말이지. 코치 타라지 도고도 지금 뭐지? 고 다니다 다시 말았어.
Yeah, so if the child, doesn't know it's a cup, then of course he will not have the mental consciousness, apprehending the cup. But then it might think some object, "Oh, this is a orange stuff," so the orange stuff or orange, something like that, when they see. So whatever they think that is it becomes mental consciousness that time.
반지 배는 가도 자살이야. 대대래다 대대 말다 생각도 돈하고 다니는 맞는 가도 신경 말았어.
So we all see it, right? The child who doesn't know this is a cup sees the cup, but it just doesn't know it's a cup, but it sees that cup. So whatever it sees and it thinks, "Oh, there's that thing," and it's already mental consciousness.
배세는 가도인데 내대 주도 거예요. 와서 저번에 나와다 무슨 거래서 아마도 내대 주를 삼거 말았어. 마시 그래서 내대 주를 받고 신경 말았어.
So this, the statues here, of these smaller statues around Padmasambhava statue, those are the statues of the 16 arhats. So those of you who don't know that those are the 16 arhats, you will only think this is statue. You will not think this is a 16 arhat statue.
그래서 그 단위 맞으면 해라야 하먹으면 해라 코라 스시 알 또비 심하지 이시도 제게 말했어.
So at that time, when you don't know these are 16 arhat statues, and you don't have that mind thinking these are 16 arhat statues.
대도
But you have just a mind thinking that these are statues.
대도 지금 보라 담고도 깔아서 라본도 깔로 와이드 아니 콜라나 되네 그 딱가로 다니티 고신로 왔더니 그 가데나 온데 까보래 나보래 고 다니자도 그랬어.
So, just like that, the child who doesn't know the difference of the colors or name of the colors will not be able to think that, oh, this is yellow color or this is a blue color and so forth. But later when they learn, then they will be able to think that this is blue or this is yellow.
Okay? This is also more complicated. There are so many debates, then we don't need to go too much complicated. Now we go to homework, okay? Otherwise, not much time.
So as the part of the definition of valid cognition, what is the purpose of mentioning new, incontrovertible, and knower?
What do each of those mean?
Yeah, well, what is the reason? What is the purpose for mentioning? Why?
I see.
Yeah.
Anyone who has to answer? Okay?
New rules out subsequent cognitions. So we know that subsequent cognitions can't be valid cognizers. Incontrovertible means that it can't be contradicted. So it rules out things that can, like correctly assuming consciousness. And a knower rules out things that can't know. Okay?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Then who have? You have?
I pretty much have the same answer. New is mentioned to rule out subsequent cognizer as valid cognition. Incontrovertible rules out correctly assuming consciousness, and knower. I have eliminates physical sense power, which kind of confused me because I know
That's true.
sense direct perceivers can have valid cognitions. But I think it means just like the eyeball itself, maybe, and not like the eye consciousness.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, the sense. When we take the sense power, that means the organ itself, not the consciousness. Yes.
Okay.
So yeah, that's not knower, right? So therefore, it's not consciousness.
Right.
Then you have?
I don't know, I keep getting hung up on why it is that correctly assuming consciousnesses are not valid cognizers. Shouldn't that say incorrectly?
No.
See, I wasn't here last week, so. That's okay, I won't take up class time.
Bob, you have?
I had the same as him.
Okay, then who have? Are you guys follow some direction or some?
Yeah, same.
Other reason?
제일 들어서
Good.
사과서야 되겠다. 제시 테마 맞지? 아니 이주에 벌써 서로 밀어와서 되죠. 이주 테마 맞지? 안에 리버스야 되거든요. 홍보 소전 봐. 테마 맞지 그랬어.
Okay. Why have to cut out?
Rule out.
Rule out.
Why do you have to rule out?
Why do you have to rule out those three? Yeah, you have to know the reason, otherwise.
So that the definition is precise.
가서 나 대전한테는 다들 파 제와한테는 전이들 따버려 버렸어.
Okay. And what? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would
You
say-
follow her?
No, well, I probably follow, it's, yeah, for me it's like you have to, it's valid, so is it fresh? Like, have you seen it before? No. So it's sort of that freshness of, okay, I'm coming into contact with it. Incontrovertible is the important one. I know this is a valid thing. And then the knower is the awareness.
Okay. 다들 뭐라 됐다 그래서 이제 생이 됐던 거지. 그래. 건도 생이가 설가에서는 생이서 자상 마찬가지다. 대고 제가 말해서 받지 않고.
So like Laura's, what did you say? So it's precise?
So it's precise?
Precise, meaning like the definition?
Yeah.
Or the...
Geshe asked why we had to,
Cut out.
yeah.
Yeah. So what she said is correct. So it's so that so even though they sound like they are almost like a valid cognition, but they're not valid cognition because of that thing, right? So correctly assuming consciousness is not valid cognition because it's not incontrovertible and so forth. Otherwise, it has two things. It can be new, it can be a knower also. But just because it is not incontrovertible, therefore it's not valid cognition.
Okay?
So second question, what is the difference between conceptual and non-conceptual consciousness?
I think we all talked about it, right? What's different? Yes, yeah.
One is perception and one is conception, right? To perceive means it's direct, and there's no conceptuality to it, whereas when conceptuality means you're conceiving of it, you don't have direct contact with it.
그래서
똑바됐다 갑도 되어야 말했어. 이나 또 그랬어. 동네에서 해야 되겠다. 그 갑도 되어야 되는지 그랬어. 갑도 따라서
이거 최고.
이제 최고 그랬어.
Okay, I think like that. It's correct. And Sumba?
So the third question, what is Buddha's purpose of explaining the valid cognition? To confuse you.
Really? No, this is very important, okay? Do you remember last year we talked about it? Yeah, Bob?
Valid cognition results in happiness, while wrong cognitions result in being unhappy. And the inferior minds with doubt and correct assumption can be removed and replaced with valid cognition, so that the result is happiness.
What do you guys?
That to fulfill the wishes of all sentient beings, that's what Buddha said last week, because obviously when you know things correctly, you can help others. Without that, you're just not there yet.
Yes.
The only thing I would add to that is it has the idea that if the more you are able to understand and analyze reality, the more you will be happy and free from error.
Okay. Then, yeah.
One thing I added was which minds to follow and which minds are mistaken in terms of like our own minds.
Okay. Adam?
The Buddha's motivation is always to help sentient beings.
Okay. Then anyone?
Is this not in the service of clear mind?
Take it.
One way of putting it, please?
So what was it?
All of this is in the service of clear mind.
Clear mind. Losava.
Okay. Okay, I think good here. And the TV in Dubbington, correct? TV in Dubbington. TV in the Dubby change is, no? TV in Dubbington, correct? The box as well.
So yeah, like you said, it is to fulfill the wishes of sentient beings. Right? So again, how do you fulfill the wishes of sentient beings? It's like what Bob said.
남주고 먼저 누가 먹을지 만들어 있는 같은 요라 용돼야지 남주 따다데 마시와 있는 용돼야 왔습니다. 삼촌이 가서 수치 누가 요아처럼 챙겨.
So all the problems that we face or we experience comes from not knowing, right? Not doing the things in the correct way. None of us will get into a trouble knowingly, right? So without knowing, out of ignorance, and we get into trouble. Make sense?
저도 컴퓨터 해볼 때 시기지나 저도 컴퓨터 미스테이크 제일 많이 왔어. 롱클 제일 많이 왔어.
So if you know how to type it really well, then you will not make many mistakes, right?
다저 여러 마시는 짓은 멈추고 왔어.
But if you don't know how to type well, then if you type, you might make many mistakes.
근데 야보 때 시기들한테 대시비 제만 요래. 때 미시들한테 대시비 매화자 콘텐츠 요래 왔어. 되게 고대오라고 제일 나왔다.
So the one who knows how to type has the valid cognition knowing how to type. And so the other one doesn't have that valid cognition, therefore it messes up.
Right. Like example, you guys have the knowledge of
So many of you have, you know how to type without looking at it, right? Looking at the keyboard, but I don't have that knowledge. So you have that valid cognition, I don't have that valid cognition. So because you have that valid cognition, right? Therefore you are free from that suffering of not knowing how to type. But because I don't have that valid cognition, so therefore I have the suffering of not knowing how to type well.
Okay?
So, but you don't see that as a suffering, right? Because you're free from that. So, you know, because you're free from the suffering of not knowing how to type, therefore you don't feel like that is suffering. So a person who knows how to drive is free from the, free from the problem of not knowing how to drive, right? So, but the person who doesn't know how to drive faces many problems because of not knowing how to drive.
Okay?
It's easy, right? So then you sometimes, because of not knowing how to speak or how to look at people and so forth, you make other person become angry. And then when somebody becomes angry at you, then you become angry back to them, right? And so that's all done without knowing, right? Knowingly, nobody will become angry. So I'm going to become angry like that. It doesn't happen, right? It happens. The anger comes because you don't know. And so, that's like, you say more you know about the reality, there will be less problem, right? So, you develop that value cognition, which knows the object just as they are, and you will be free from the problem of not knowing those things as just as they are.
Okay? Okay, good, you guys answer is good. But we need also purposes. We need to know why Buddha have to talk about all the time. Okay, otherwise, well, I want to send that study to one conscience. Why? I don't know. It's what I know.
So if you want to apply that to a practice, you can apply that to a practice. If not, you can also just take it as a knowledge. So like it says, the study, is the best lamp, to dispel the darkness of ignorance. And it's like the best of the wealth that it cannot be stolen by a thief. So if you have the knowledge, nobody can steal this away from you.
Example, your passports. Everyone memorize your passport, right? If you memorize your passport, no one steal it. You write on the paper, you lose the paper, so far, it's still right? Therefore, like the monastery, they have to memorize all the texts. And, the teachers always say, you memorize, everywhere you go, you can do. Even if some place you are not allowed to pray, but even you just quiet, look at people sleep there, you just pray, you're doing here. And therefore, knowledge is most important, okay? Now last question.
It's a person who realizes his object of value cognition.
Yes, no.
What's the question?
It's a trick question.
It's a person who realizes his object of value cognition.
Well, I'll go first and probably I'm not right, but I broke it down. Well, what is about cognition? It's new, incontrovertible, lower. So now the person that realizes needs two difficulties. From the bottom, I said the person is not a knower, because the definition is it's that which is imputed on his five varieties, on any of his five varieties. So that's not a definition of a knower. And then I said, is it incontrovertible? I think there, it may or may not be right, but basically it says, and I think that's pretty much the level we're at, there are very few direct realizations, because we don't realize our object directly, we use it through a mental image, through a generality, and that's not incontrovertible. And then is it new? It's like no, because a person, well, 2 minutes ago I was still here, so I'm not new. And so that's my logic, but there'll probably be many faults.
So basically you're saying it's not.
Basically,
I say no. And I've got 3 reasons.
Yeah.
Sadhu male, malo male. Okay. Any who have question? Answer. Yeah?
I wrote a person has valid cognitions about an object as an object possessor, but is not, the person is not itself the valid cognition.
Okay.
I said yes, that a person can be the subject of a valid cognition.
Karsa?
But is it a valid cognition? That's the question.
Is the person a valid cognition?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Then who else?
Well,
Bob?
I said yes in the first moment of realizing the object, but then no in subsequent moments.
So the person is
Yes.
a valid cognition? Yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Switched it around
Yeah?
to be valid.
I said yes if the realization is based on either direct or inferential cognition.
No, Sam. Valid cognizer. Is it a valid cognizer?
Yes.
Or is that a valid cognizer?
Yeah, if it's valid cognition.
Okay.
The question said valid
I say
cognition.
no.
Cool. What you say again? You say yes?
Yes, I said yes if it was based upon either a direct prime cognition or an inferential prime cognition.
양면은 무슨 말이에요? 영어는 just about 참아res.
Okay. Well, Bobby said again, the point is yes,
I
then
said
say
yes, the person is an object possessor, but only in the first moment is it a valid cognition. In the subsequent moments, only when it's anew.
Well, right soon after it was born.
What's that?
Soon after it was born.
No. When-
At the time it was
when-
born.
No, it says a person who realizes its object.
So
when
at the time when it was realizing.
They first realize the object in the
Yeah.
first moment they
Uh-huh.
realize the object when it's new.
Mhm.
At that moment it's valid.
Oh, okay.
After that, it's not.
So I went to Dr. Burson.
Okay.
He said yes.
Who says yes?
Dr. Burson.
Who's the other person?
Alex Burson, yeah. Alex Burson.
Here, he's
Ah,
Alex Burson?
Yeah, we had him, we had him
I think the
live.
What's
question
his full name? Alex?
emphasize-
Alexander Burson.
Yeah, he is.
He said yes, okay.
Yes.
Okay, Mary?
Well, I would say yes, just on the basis of what you just talked about today with respect to the 3 empowering conditions, because the last one is the immediate condition. The definition of that is that which produces the cognition of the object. And you also qualify that by saying it's form, source, or person. So if a person is an immediate condition in that which produces the cognition of the object, then that means the person is a valid cognition.
Yeah, the concept 참아res.
Okay.
Sorry, I
Anything
think
else?
Michelle, you had something?
Isn't that what the question was?
I saw you raise your hand.
No,
Okay.
I wasn't sure if the valid cognizer goes under consciousness instead of persons.
Let's keep that there. 자, 그 테마디 쉐바인 거 말해서 강사를 했어요. 그래서 다 하셨다.
Okay, anyone else? Deborah?
I said no.
I still say
Okay, do you have?
Stacy?
No, I don't have.
You don't have what?
I'm
You-
From your opinion,
No, you should have the one, go to the one direction. You will, no, something.
I know I wasn't here for the last couple classes, my first class, but I'm going to say no just because of the basis of the way the question is structured. Is a person who realizes its object a valid cognition? I'm going to say no because a person who realizes its object is separate and a valid cognition is separate. I'm going to say definitely no.
Okay, how many people say yes? Yes, 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 yes. What people say yes? How many people say no? No, 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 no. Okay.
what's the answer?
Which reason is
Okay, now I'm going to another answer, okay? Another question. 나도 예체가 강사당 로카샤도 예체라. 지시다 숨진.
No, so coming back to Michelle. So, didn't we say, the object possessor, there are 3 types?
Yeah, persons.
Consciousness, person, and expressive sound, right?
Yes.
So the consciousness and the person are different, right?
Yes.
Yeah, so that's what I think,
So it goes on the.
definition, yeah, absolutely the definition.
Valid cognizance.
Yes.
Valid cognizance is under the
Okay.
consciousness.
그래서 다 강사의 이치 작업이죠. 이치.
Yeah, so person is the object possessor,
Yeah.
right?
다 써서 세우더니 왔어.
So new incontrovertible, knower is the definition of the valid cognition, right?
다 제마에 되니까 하는 거로.
So if he is a valid cognizer, then it has to be cognition. It has to be either these three, all these three, right? All these three part of the definition.
그래서 그게 되잖아요.
So the person is all three of them.
강사의 시발이라고 했었잖아.
So yeah, first of all, is the person a consciousness?
No. No.
Person is not consciousness, right? That's him.
강사 시발이라.
So those of you who said the person is valid cognition, then the person has to be consciousness, right? Because the valid cognition is consciousness, right?
그래서 다 이해하면서 다 꼽대버렸어.
So that's my reason to give you. Usually, when somebody asks you a question, you say yes or no. If you say no, you have to give the reason. If you say yes, then I have to prove the reason. So it's safe to say yes at the beginning. Because it's safe, safe to be, safe to say yes because you don't have to give the reason at the beginning, right? If you say no, then you immediately you will ask why. You normally don't ask why yes, why not.
That's true.
This will be it for every question from now on.
For the first, but now, because of that reason that Geshe provided, now you are wrong to say it is yes.
아니 강사 시발 말아봤어. 저도 강사 시발을 경험해봤어.
So person is not consciousness, right?
So person is not a knower?
Person is person. 시발 말았어. Yeah, so that's what Geshe is asking. So Geshe is asking, the person is not consciousness, right? Right. So if he is not consciousness, then he's not knower either, right?
Right. Not awareness.
Right or wrong?
Right.
No, you don't know? Then you go back to this where it says the synonymous with. So it says knower, awareness, and consciousness. Three are synonymous, right? So if it's a consciousness, it has to be knower. If it's a knower, it has to be consciousness.
Okay?
How can a person possess an object or
저 대학 가서 제가 다음 대학 가서 왔어. 저도 대통령
So first you understand that, right? That knower, consciousness is same.
Okay, 그래서 다 강사 시발 말하고 왔어.
So and therefore person is not a consciousness, right?
대학 또 왔지. 그래서 강사들 생각 말하고 왔어.
So therefore person is not a valid cognition, right?
다 오이 question.
the question was, how is a person an object possessor if they're not a knower?
Because the report minor, 거기다 you report you report is you say 가서 report minor, 아니면 거기 때는 거기 유지 가능성 그래서.
아니 다들 report 왔어. 다 이제 봐.
So what about the expressive sound? Isn't that object possessor also?
I didn't understand why that's. I know that it was on the list.
Okay. 다른 게 아니라 다른 제자로서 고유시에 잡아버렸어.
So because you have something that you express, you have something that you express in this expressive sound. Not any kind of sound, but expressive sound. You express something because you have that. That's why it's object possessor.
강사가 이해하는 강사 이체 자서 말했어.
And so because a person has an object, therefore a person becomes object possessor also.
강사 이제 시발이 또 하나 강사를 또 전을 들어왔어.
So because you say the person's person's mind knows it, therefore you call it person knows it.
무슨 이 무시하고 내하고 뭐라고 말해. 가지 나내 90바 가지 하고 나 강사 하고 생각 다니 되게 왔어.
So you say I see it, you don't say my eye sees it. Because my eye sees it, therefore we call I see it. And so you give that term, you give that term, to the person also. Therefore, the person sees it also.
Okay, now you understand? Okay, now we say, think about yin and zero. We say yes, now you have 4, right? It's good.
So those who said yes is incorrect, right?
Yeah.
You understand now?
Thinking of answer is good, okay, but it makes sense?
Tell that Alexander also.
Okay. Now, okay. Who say yes? Who say no? What we say yes once we say yes once, no.
So those who said yes are proven to be no, right?
No.
Yeah.
Right?
Was there a good reason?
No.
Was enough reason? Enough reason?
No reason.
I'm
You
not
need more reason?
satisfied. I'm not satisfied.
So those of you who said no, then you have to give reason now. Why did you say no? Why not?
Why do I say no?
Yeah.
Oh, because a person is not only an object possessor, but a person can be an object. Yeah?
No. Why is person not a valid cognition?
Why is a person not a valid cognition?
Yeah.
Why say
So you said yes, right?
Yeah.
So you're
Oh,
not.
I'm sorry.
You're proven wrong already. So those who say no, you say no,
Yeah, I
right?
said no, because I said a person is not a knower. It is that which is implicit in the 5 arguments, and I went to the definition. So I said this is why it's not. It is.
그래서 강사들에서 제목 많이 듣고 가서 리본 많이 미쳤어. 리본 많이 미쳤어. 가서는 그 강사들 때는 나중에 뭐 가를 때는 답을 많이 미쳤어.
That's good, yeah, that's good. Okay, where are you?
That's a good question. Well, you look back at the definition of person and it says of being imputed in dependence upon any of its 5 aggregates. So, I feel like we're going around in circles because, well, who's doing the imputing? Who is doing the imputing? Where it says of being imputed in dependence upon any of its 5 aggregates. So that tells me that, a person is really an object, and a consciousness is what's doing the imputing. And so that's getting really freaky.
So that means the person is not the knower.
That's right.
So it's not a consciousness, so therefore it's not a valid cognition.
That's right.
So that's right then,
That's
right?
good. Okay.
But that's getting really weird.
Always, when you have to go back to watch, okay? The answer is back then, both times. Also, very important to understand the
Definition.
Definition very important. Okay, what do you give the reason?
I said yes.
No, you say yes, what the reason? He said just he said, or what do you give reason?
Okay, yeah. The realization of an object, the cognition, yes. It has to do with clarity and awareness. Clarity, a cognitive object arises. Awareness, you're cognitively engaging that object. So that the aspects of mental activity is 2 ways of describing the same phenomenon. And so all valid cognitions apprehend their involved objects.
So there's nothing about the person there.
No. But except
The reason, Geshe is asking for the reason why a person is valid cognition.
He's an Alexander.
because they're cognizers. And that's, remember I said I changed the question to, because it didn't make sense to me, I changed it from cognition to cognizer. And the answer according to.
똑바로 말해, 동의해.
똑바로 말해.
세마디라다. 세마디라. 똑바로. 똑바로. 세마디 동의하대. 그 동의하고. 동의도 똑바로 이거야. 아주 가시고. 동의에서 너는 미라샤. 똑바로는 세마샤. 로라샤. 똑바로는 로라샤. 다음에는 아주 미식이 다 가서 소통도는 소통도 되고 똑바로 쳐거라. 미식도 똑바로 쳐겠어. 나는 미리 통해내서 그것들은 다 동의를 잘했어.
그래서 참 말이야.
대전에서 참 말했어.
이 똥이 잘못 가져왔어. 이 똥이
막 동에서 가다.
말 예또는 참아이 고 말.
뭐라게 생에는 따다 체마다 동이겠어요. 따다
예또에 걸로 연도 참아이 고 말. 그럼 예또에 연도 참아이 고 말.
그래.
근데 제시도 예또 그러다 참아.
So in this case, what's the difference, between the cognition and cognizer? So it's the cognition that cognizes it. Therefore, the cognition is a cognizer.
Also, I'm looking for his reason.
So a valid cognizer is a mind, right, that cognizes the object. Right. So it's the mind that's the valid cognizer. Is the valid cognition that cognizes the object. So in this case, yeah. So when we talk about the valid cognizer or valid cognition, it's no difference. They both are same. They both are consciousness. Therefore, person is neither of those two. So no matter what you change to, it's still not person.
Okay. What do you give reason? I have to find the reason, what
말다 건너서 쉐바 딱 그런 게 생겨다 쉐바 세디 아니라 쉐바 세디 직사 생겨서디 진짜 가마셔. 가서디 생겨서 아니 다 쉐바지 쉐바스. 가서디 생겨서 쉐바 말았다. 생겨다 그런 쉐바기 생겨를 말이지. 쉐바기 생겨서 더 쉐바.
신경이 참아 고 말.
네.
저라서.
그래 뒤 말아.
신경이
참아서 그러다. 신경 참아서. 신경 생마다 쉐바 참아서.
Tita tell the college.
The conduit the Hagasha in Tony.
Maybe the English is different.
Cognizer and cognition. Yeah.
Different. But can you never put each other shouldn't tell me this?
The thing of the intertone shadow, the singer that Sheba Senora, she carried singing the Carasina, Sheba. Sheba is the question at an Ajigor. 그 쉐바스들인데 또 로라샤 싱가서들 감사하샤.
Therefore,
가지들 가서 감사들 나 싱가의 쉐바지자 지다도 쉐바라. 쉐바의 싱가서 그 싱가 차라. 대체로 싱가자고 쉐바 차라. 게스는 있어봐. 또 뭐라 세나다 싱가의 싱가의 감사를 아니 쉐바디 로레스. 또 쉐바 참아줘라. 싱가 참아다 쉐바 참아줘라.
Okay, I don't know how to say. I think we will talk about more than this is I think different language.
Cognition and cognizer.
시발 마시나 시기 가다 시기 말아.
네.
가다지 시발이 쉬어지나 가다 시발 잡고.
So person you can say is cognizer because it's cognized by the consciousness, right? So a person cannot become a cognizer if there's no mind cognizing it.
It just seems to be that cognition is a noun.
So that's why the reason why we call the person is object possessor is because it has an object that it knows it, So when you know it with your mind, it says, oh, the person knows it. When you see it with your eye consciousness, you say, oh, person sees it, right? So in the same way, the cognizer and cognition, they are same. And it's both done by the mind.
I have to believe you that they're the same because I didn't think they were.
Yeah. So because then it's the mind which cognizes it. It's the mind is the cognizer because it's the one which cognizes, but we call it a person cognizes it. So therefore, person is your object possessor. Yeah.
Okay. 나도 또 봐서 때 산다 메와. 얘또 세대 산다 요구와. 이거. 또 봐서 또 메서 들은 예 산다 메와지. 다들은 지금. 또 봐서 산다 메와지.
대도 맞았던데.
얘또 봐서
또 가서
얘또 메서 마세요.
그래서 사도 밀었어요.
맞아.
왔어도 밀었어. 가서 가는 무슨 무슨 걸었어?
또 봐도 다시.
또 봐라.
뒤또 봐도 산다 메와지.
네.
다 얘똥이로 또 봐서 애들 산다 해봤지.
산다 세나?
사. 라타타노 또.
맞아. 아래 사다 아래.
I don't know. This is also different. Tibetan just difference of one.
진짜 말아. 진짜 라타 따라요. 찔러요. 사요. 찔러사. 그래.
얘또
양주 유명해요.
양주 유명 사용이더라 지주.
왜 양주
사용하지.
딜 똑바로 또 맞아. 하고 왔어요. 제다들 양주 명예 양주 사 양주 명예들아 똑똑똑 다들 천수.
Okay.
I have a really good question.
Okay.
So, the object possessor, a person is an object possessor because the person knows itself as an object?
Person knows itself as an object. 그 강사들이 유재를 강사나 강사 고람이 되면 고람도 유리도 하고 되잖아요.
뭐 강사가 똑같은 나 몰라요 나시. 힘을 또한 강사 또 강사도 또 자기는 강사들 일제히 잡는 거죠.
No, because we say a person knows it. You know, it's not the person directly knowing it, it's the mind of the person who knows it, right? But, like I said, you know,
Semantic mind.
Conventional language.
can Stacy see Geshe?
Yeah.
You can see, right? Are you seeing it? Stacy merely labels Stacy sees it, or the Stacy's eye sees it? Is it you seeing it or your eye seeing it?
I see the shape and form of Geshe,
Yes,
and
yes.
my consciousness labels in Geshe.
No. So even you're seeing that your eye consciousness sees him, right? Stacy's eye consciousness sees Geshe, right? And therefore you say, oh, Stacy sees Geshe. Right, but it's not Stacy, it's Stacy's eye consciousness. If Stacy doesn't have the eye consciousness, will she still see Geshe? No, right? So it's the eye consciousness that's seeing Geshe. But we say Stacy sees. Yeah, so therefore Stacy is object possessor. Stacy is the person, is object possessor. Therefore.
Okay. 다 내가 매매진진 게 되지는 땡줄하는 누구지? 실 참아시게 잔주 주살아 시바세마 제와세마 류세마 소 여정 심한 참아유면 시바세마는 참아 되지.
지금 참아라 벌써?
시당 편데 말로 그
지금 벌써 참아라?
참아는 주살아 제와세마 못 그 저 참아주살아 시바세마 제와세마 소 여정 심한 참아유면
So in the in the commentary teachings of the Buddha, it says that when we talk about the valid cognition, valid. It's not the valid cognition. Of course, valid cognition is necessarily our consciousness, but when you say the valid, you can apply that to a valid person, a valid cognition, and valid scriptures, scriptural support, valid scriptural support. But that valid, but the actual valid, it only goes to the valid cognition. So those you can say valid person and a valid, scriptural support, but the actual valid only applies to the valid cognition.
Okay? 아니 주마가 제와체마다 루치마 세금제들 주마가 좀 시작했어. 다 되셔.
And so why do we call a valid person a valid? Right? Valid person is not valid, but why is called valid person? And we'll talk about that next time.
근데 다 세미 주로 하잖아. 아니 다 말이 깨어도 세마 많이 세. 걔는 그래서.
So according to the text, so it's not a valid person. Valid person is called, that person is called a valid person, but it's not a valid. Why is it called valid person, right? And so because it's not valid. If it's a valid, it has to be a valid cognition.
Okay. Thank you. Think about more, okay? Thank you. Now we talk to you.
Okay, page 39. And fast again. Okay, we'll fast track it again. Sa shi poki ji jun mei to tram ri ring ling ji ni de ke pandi sang du xing du bi ke o argi dro kun nam tag shin to jo par shu je sun la me ku se rap ten ching nam kar twin lai chu jur du ga dong lob sang tem pe dro me sa sum gi dro e mun so tag du ne gur chi Idam Guru Ratna Mandala Kam Niryatayami. From my two collections, vast the space that I have amassed from working with therapeutic this practice for a great length of time, may I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds was demised, blinded by ignorance. Even if I do not reach the state, may I be held in your loving compassion for all my life's minutiae. May I find the best of complete creative paths of the teachings, and may I please all the Buddhists by practicing. Using skillful means drawn by the strong force of compassion, may I clear the darkness from the minds of all beings. With the points of the path as I have discerned them, may I uphold Buddhist teachings for a very long time. With my heart going out with great compassion in whatever direction the most precious teachings have not yet spread, or when spread have declined, may I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted bounteous peace, and the Buddhist deeds be nourished for a long time. By even this greater course to enlightenment completed, due to the wondrous virtuous conduct of the Buddhists and their children, may all human and non-human beings who eliminate adversity and make things conducive for practicing the excellent paths never be parted in any of their lives with their an effort to act in accordance with the threefold Mahayana virtuous practices. May they always be dispensed by the ocean, and may the ocean of prosperity spread everywhere. And to the dedication prayers on page 57. Through this virtue may I swiftly, having gained Guru, Buddha states, place each and every sentient being without exception in that state. Precious supreme Bodhi mind, may it where unborn arise, and where born never decline, but increase forevermore. Make me generated, dream make Ngawang Pojam Function Sukyan Songkapa Losandrave Shabla Soadam. Thank you, Geshe.
Thank you very much, Geshe. I'll just keep it quick. The only thing is keep your eyes on the email. We have, we'll be sure to be sending out a list of what all the volunteering items that you can volunteer for. We'll have a little, not a questionnaire, it's basically a place where you can fill in what you can do, when you can do it. We'll need help on the Friday and the Saturday. So basically the main focus right now is Sakadawa. And then also, please, you know, I know we send out the appeals, but we really, really need the community's help on this. This is, you know, this is our, as a center, it's our big event. So any support that you can give, be it sort of spreading the word for people to come, or any financial support or physical support, greatly appreciated. So that's it. Thanks, everyone.